these CRAs, this new CRA, is it punitive or is it practical?
It's practical. Our new rules are very, very practical from both standpoints, because if their economic development really works, then the cities will really get a lot of money. If their economic ideas of economic development don't work, they get nothing. So it's performance-based. You give us your CRA, we say go ahead, we fund you half of it, you don't get to bond county money, but if your CRA actually develops and develops and develops, you get the profit.
How much money are we actually talking over the last 10, 15 years? 80, 100 million collectively?
For the
CRAs that have already
it's five a year.
So about
$80 million.
$80 million, and really that
well, let me just say this: New Smyrna Beach has gotten over over $172 million in CRA funding. Now, if they would have gone with our process that we made now, if it would have been in place, they would have received $186 million in CRA funds, and it would not have been a burden to the taxpayer, and we would have a balanced budget, and we wouldn't be running down the road going, where am I going to come up with $6 million?
What I can't understand is you've got a thing like the Badcock building on the New Smyrna. Obviously, this will be broken into parts now. We had the Badcock building on corner of US 1 and Canal, about $500,000 in CRA investment, and right behind it is this old, dilapidated,
just like we said,
garage shed, and there's junk vehicles on the property.
Well, yeah, I mean,
isn't that really
all front?
Isn't that really code enforcement and building inspection?
Well, that would be on the back side of it. But see, it's all just like a Hollywood movie set. You look at the front of a movie set, and it's all beautiful and pretty, and it's like, wow, the Taj Mahal and everything. You go behind it, and it's got 2x4s holding up a big poster, so to speak. That's what we've got. We've got this beautiful frontage. We actually have stores there.
What kind of reminds me?
But there's nothing in the back.
I can't help but
don't look behind the screen. Pay no attention to that lack of CRA funding behind the building.
Obviously, since you worked at the radio station for Skip and WSBB, you would know that at the Penny Saver building, which got about $1/3 of $1 million in funding, it looks beautiful in the front, but in the back it's the same old loading dock of the Penny Saver and the News Journal.
Well, I watched them build the whole thing, and it's a beautiful front. It's all plaster and paint and pretty trees. The building has not changed.
And it's not even fully occupied, and these rents go from one building to another.
Yeah, see, yeah, it's
like a house of cards.
It's lipstick on a pig, and we're giving and from what I see with all these CRAs, is I'm seeing a lot of money and a lot of businesses shifting around. It's like a Shell P game. Here's the business today. We moved the shells around. Where is it? Oh, it moved over here. It's a new business now. And no, it's the same business. It's just got moved. And it gives the outward appearance of new business, new economic development. Look at what we're doing. But see, people forget that I have a good memory. And I know where they were before. And I know most of those people. I've met most of them down Flagler Avenue.
Let's end this interview in a sort of pragmatic, sort of like putting the cards on the table, so to speak. If you have privatization and the private sector's investing in a community, how can that take hold if you got this constant feeding of projects that take care of insiders who employ their friends, award their friends? It's no irony that the beer parties and things are taking care of people that take care of the politicians. It's like a vicious circle of people. There's a CRA architect who was a campaign manager for a previous mayor. The mayor gets $100,000 in funding 2 years in a row for rent for the hub, and says, "Oh, it's great. We're doing great. We have all these people coming in. But why do you need another 50 grand?" I mean, when does it stop?
It stops.
And how do you develop it? How do you get true economic development with that kind of set?
You can't. Because what you have. It's like this. If you really want government to build something, then just come to us and let us build it. We can probably get it done quicker. We won't be dragging our feet, and it'll probably cost us less than 10%. That's what we should have done in the first place. You want to rebuild Flagler Avenue, instead of going for a CRA, the county should have gone into it, said, let's do it, let's get the infrastructure done, let's go there, and let's get it done, and we wouldn't be having the problems and conversations we're having today. When the government starts funding situations and organizations and other governments so that they can get their projects done, they become lackadaisical. They don't want to work anymore. They don't want to have to go find more grant money here, to see if they can get private investor. That's what they need to do. If you want real economic development, trust me, you get a private business involved in developing that project, and believe me, the guy that's got the money, the millions of dollars to do it, he's going to make sure that that business thrives. He's going to make sure that the advertising's done right. He's going to make sure that the building's correct, and he's going to make sure there's always somebody in that building paying the bills. If not, he'll close them down and he'll start it over, and he'll do it again with somebody else.
Well, even in New Smyrna Beach, where you had the Hampton Inn, which was the first real hotel on the beachside in, what, 20-something years, almost 5 years, and despite upwards of $600,000 to $1 million, $600,000 to $1 million in CRA funding, all this bureaucracy, you know.
It's ridiculous. The bureaucracy kills me, and I hate it. And I've been arguing about it and fighting it and trying to get it reduced. And
isn't it funny how a super Walmart is actually generating traffic on 44, where the city has done nothing for all these years?
That's right. Well, you know, you got to, if you want a business to thrive, you got to have a good product. You got to be able to service it, and you also have to make it affordable. Trust me, with the upcoming tax bills that everybody's going to be getting of 40%, my lovely better half just got hit with her first 40% income tax bill, and she's an employee. She is not a contractor. But that's what the new health care bill did. She just got laid with 40%. So it's like, wow. With that thing coming down, do you honestly think there's going to be a lot of economic growth in the next year? Right now, everybody needs to make their product good, service it, and you need to really keep it affordable, or you're going to go under. And that's just simple business.
What I found kind of ironic, and maybe we can finally wrap this up.
Maybe we can end this.
Is that, for example, the newest member of the City Commission, Jason McGurk, who ran without opposition. He was Jim Hathaway's heir apparent, hand-picked successor. He's the one talking to the News Journal about the need for Canal Street to be part of a CRA for another 20 years, where the mayor is completely silent. The mayor is taking care of all of his friends and taking care of his own, needs financially.
Let me just say this. I had a meeting with...
now, you've spoken to the mayor, right? And some of these other people?
Yeah, I've spoken, to Adam, yes. I've talked to Mr. Barringer, and I've also talked with Jason McGurk. And we talked about ECHO funding. We've also talked about CRA. And I've also looked at him and said, show me the money. That's the answer to it all.
That's our series. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Well, that's good. I'm glad we got it. Show me where we've created economic development. Show me where property value has risen higher than normal inflationary prices. Our county grows at 3 to 4% annually every year. And that's what we've been doing for the past 20 years, except for the drop. But we've continued our growth again back at 3 to 4%. Show me. Show me where you've created $18 for every dollar you spent. If you can't show me the money and how that money is growing, and how the development in the ecology or the economy is growing because you put a massive amount of lipstick on a pig, then I am not interested in CRAs.
Well, let's end it with this. If someone like City Manager Jim Chisholm of Daytona Beach comes to you and says, Mr. County Chair, we've got this big project that's going to bring X number of jobs. It's really important for the city. It would really help economic development. If it's a reasonable project, is the county going to say no to something like that?
No, if it's a reasonable project, which is viable, which will sustain the work, which is not a weekend brouhaha like a party, but if it's building bricks and mortar, capital projects, that's all we're looking at now. We're done with the party. Party time's over. It's now time to get to work, bricks and mortar. And if it's not bricks and sticks and concrete on the ground, building and building, making a business, I'm not interested.
So a new CRA, a tougher, stricter CRA with teeth in it will actually benefit projects that really need to be done to help the community.
Oh yeah.
Well, for County Chair Jason Davis, this is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer. This has been a very enlightening interview, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cool.